Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining today. Today's class is a little mixed bag. There's some hips, there's some shoulders, some side bends, some twists. So let's just hop right in. Most of this class will be seated, so make sure you have a space where you can be comfortable in a seated posture. You also might want to have a couple of blocks handy and a strap, so grab those things. We'll start seated. So if that is not a very comfortable position for your hips, for your core, for any other reason, it might be nice to sit on a block, maybe on two blocks. You could even sit with your back supported against the wall. So take your time, set up a comfortable seated posture. Once you're there, let the hands rest on your knees or your thighs. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe even roll the shoulders down the back. If it's comfortable in the space that you're in, you might close the eyes. Just starting to settle in a little bit. Maybe slow the breathing. Take one more full breath in through the nose. Slowly let it out. At the end of that exhale, go ahead, flutter your eyes open. You can wiggle and jiggle a little bit, readjust. With your next breath in, circle the arms up and around. Maybe the palms touch, maybe look up. Exhale, slowly bring the hands to heart center. Do that two more times. Use the breath in, circle the arms, look up. Exhale, bring your hands to the heart. Last one, big breath in, circle the arms. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Next, inhale, circle the arms up, look up. Take a little side bend to the right. So your right hand comes down and your left arm reaches over to the side. If you're sitting on a block and your hand doesn't quite touch the ground, you can bring your hand to the hip, really just finding length in the left side of the body. Inhale, lift both arms, come through center, take that side bend to the left. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches. Staying long in both sides of the body. Trying not to dump everything into that left side. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, take a twist to your right. So your torso turns to the right. Left hand comes on top of the right thigh. Right hand comes down behind you. Again, if you're still sitting on a block, your hand might come to your waist or your low back. Take a big breath in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, maybe take a look over that right shoulder. Good. Slowly unwind. Come through center, lift both arms. Exhale, take that twist to the left. Tall spine. Maybe look over the left shoulder. Slowly unwind. Come back through center, lift the arms. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Good. I'm coming off the block. You are welcome to stay on the block. We're just going to switch the cross of the legs. So whichever leg is on top, switch it out, make it a little awkward. Bring your hands onto your knees or your thighs. We'll take a few seated cat-cows here. So I'll show you from the side. I want you to find cat pose first. So hold on to the knee, start to round through the spine. You can tuck the tailbone a little bit, let the shoulders round, bring your chin towards your chest. And then as you inhale, pull the chest forward, maybe tilt the tailbone. You can look up. 2 more times, nice and slow. Round through the spine, bring your chin towards your chest. Inhale, pull the chest through, squeeze the shoulder blades together, look up. Last one, round through the spine. Tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, pull the chest through. Come back to a neutral spine and a flat back. We'll extend our legs out and take them wide. So the distance that your legs go doesn't matter. I want you to be able to sit up nice and tall. So maybe you bring your legs a little closer together and that helps you sit a little more upright. Go for it. From here, find a nice rounded forward fold. So you can hold on behind the thighs. You could hold on behind the calves. You can reach for the toes. You might even want to reach forward. I want you to round through the spine and let your head be heavy. Try not to put a ton of effort. So try not to hold on and grip too much with the hands. Just let everything be heavy. Use the breath in, slowly start to bring your upper body up. Bend your right knee. Bring the sole of that foot towards the left thigh. Pivot your torso towards your extended leg. Lift the arms. Exhale, fold over that extended leg. Again, you can hold on anywhere that works for you. Thigh, calf, foot. Maybe there's a strap around the ball of that foot. Take a couple of breaths. Maybe you're a little more active in this version of the forward fold. So you can straighten out the spine, squeeze the shoulder blades together, flex the foot. More about bringing your chest forward than about bringing your head towards that leg. Use the breath in, slowly come up out of that fold. We'll set up for a quick side bend. So you can bring a block towards the inside of that shin. Maybe your forearm rests on the block. And just start here by opening up the chest. Lift the ribs up. Twist yourself open before you start to reach that arm overhead. Imagine the fingers are going to touch the toes. They're not going to touch the toes. They might. They don't have to. Just imagine them touching the toes. Keep reaching. Keep breathing. Find some length in the left side of the body. Try not to dump everything down. And then slowly release. Come on up. Come on out. Switch sides. So you're extending that right leg out. Left knee bends. Foot in towards the thigh. Pivot your torso towards that right leg. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Again, maybe more active in this version, really getting into that the right hamstring. Active in the leg. Maybe that straight spine, shoulders squeezing together towards the spine. Slowly start to make your way up out of the fold. Again, take that block if you need the block on the inside of that right shin. Forearm can come down onto the block. If it's accessible, your forearm could come onto the ground. It might even come under that calf, but it just depends on where you are, where those sensations are. So start here with the forearm on the block. Rotate the ribs, open the chest, open. Then start to reach the left arm towards the right toe. Keep breathing. Slowly make your way out of that side bend. Move the block to the side. Come back to that cross-legged posture. So we'll start with the right leg on top. Could be that you're just sitting in cross legs. Maybe you start to work towards a fire log shape so that the shins line up with each other. That might not quite work out. Maybe that right knee is lifted. Maybe bring a block under that right thigh. If it's accessible, you can start to work towards the knee stacking, but that's a pretty intense hip stretch. So stopping here is plenty, anywhere with the right leg on top. Once you have that, bring your forearms to touch. So the elbows are about the height of the shoulders, palms are touching. If this seems pretty easy, pretty accessible, you can also bring the right elbow under the left elbow and the backs of the hands can touch. You can also interlace completely and bring the palms to touch. So find where the work is for you in the shoulders. Use the breath in, start to lift the elbows a little higher. You can find a little back bend here. And then exhale, start to round through the spine, hug your elbows towards the legs. Tuck it in. Two more. Inhale, lift, lengthen, find a little back bend. Exhale, hug it in. Last one. Big breath in, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hug it in. Good. Come back through center. Release the arms, whatever version you had. Shake it out. Switch the cross of your legs. Doesn't matter. Sitting cross-legged, as long as the left leg is on top. Maybe that fire log shape. Maybe you're working towards stacking the knees. Once you have the legs, bring those forearms to touch. Elbows are the height of the shoulders. Stay just like this, or left elbow comes underneath, backs of the hands touch, maybe the palms touch. Use the breath in, lift the chest, find a little back bend. Exhale, round through the spine, bring your elbows towards your legs. Two more. Big breath in, lift the chest. Exhale, hug it in. Last one. Big breath in, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, round in. Inhale, come through center, release the arms, shake it out, let it go. You can uncross the legs. You're gonna bring your hands behind your hips, fingertips face forward, and bring your feet a little bit wider than your hips, maybe the distance of the mat. We're gonna windshield wiper the knees side to side. So both knees come to the right. There's a little bit of a twist. Lift them up, both legs come to the left. Do that two more times. Twisting side to side. Supporting yourself on your hands as much as you need to. This time when the legs come to the right, lift your left hand, take a little twist so that you're facing the back of the mat. You could stay just like this. This might be enough of a twist, might be enough of a hip stretch. If it's accessible, maybe you start to come down onto your forearms. If that is pretty easy, you may even come all the way down. The forehead might rest. Take a few breaths here. Wherever you landed, slowly start to make your way up and start to unwind, but keep the knees off to the right. Bring your right hand down onto the mat. Support yourself if you need to. If you don't need that help and the support, then go ahead and just keep the hands lifted. You're going to try to just lift and lower the left knee. So lift the left knee, lower it down. The more you can stay still in the upper body, the harder this is going to be. If you need to lean back and support yourself, go for it. I just want you to work on this left hip. So maybe 5 more times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now you're going to work on lifting just that back heel. It's probably not going to lift very far. Give it a try. 1, 2. Again, support yourself if you need to. 3, 4, 5. We're going to 8, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Release. Bring the left hand down behind you. Bring the legs back through center. Take a moment, readjust, make sure you're set up properly on your mat. Feet are wider than your hips, hands are behind the back. This time, start with the legs going to the left. Take your time through this action, this windshield wiper action. Really just explore the movement, see where you feel those sensations in the hips. Maybe feel it outer hip. Maybe you feel it in the inner thigh. Good. 3 times each direction. Eventually, the legs move to the left. You pick up the right hand. Follow that twist all the way back. Maybe you stay here with the arms straight, hands planted. Maybe you lower onto forearms. Maybe you come all the way down. Maybe you take a few breaths to settle in. And when you do that, there might be an invitation to come lower if you didn't start with your forehead down. Slowly start to make your way up, starting to unwind. Keep the legs off to the left. Do that same lifting and lowering. This time it's with the right knee. If you need your hands for support, if you need to lean back a little, go for it. You want to bring your hands either onto your hips or at heart center, make it a little harder, go for it. Start to lift and lower the right knee. 8 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Take a breath. Start to lift and lower that back heel, the right heel. Lift and lower. 2, we're going to 8 again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Release. Bring the hands back behind the hips. Bring the legs back through center. Maybe you windshield wiper a little side to side. Just undo whatever you're feeling. Eventually, we'll meet on our back. So take your time. Make your way on to your back. Once you get there, set up for a little ab work on your back, everyone's favorite. Extend the legs out long. Start by bringing your hands under your hips. Point your toes. Shoulders stay down. Try to tuck your tailbone a little bit. So try to press your low back down. Lift the legs straight into the air. So maybe you find a 90-degree shape with the body, an L shape. If the knees are bent a little, the knees are bent a little. Just make them as straight as you can. Keep pressing the low back down. Lower your legs a third of the way. Lower your legs another third of the way. Good. Lower the legs so the heels are hovering, maybe an inch or two. If that feels pretty okay, maybe take a peek. Lift the head, lift the shoulders, look at the toes. Lower the head back down, lift the legs a third of the way. Keep pressing the low back down. Lift the legs another third of the way. We're almost there. Lift the legs all the way up. You can hug the knees to the chest a little, rock side to side. If that was a lot of work already, repeat that again. If you need a little extra work, you can bring the hands by your sides and use the press of your hands down to help a little bit. If you need even more of a challenge, you might bring the arms out like a T. So we'll just do one more round of this. Decide what arm variation you need. Let the legs lift. Press the low back down. Lower the legs a third of the way. Keep pressing the low back down, even as you lower another third of the way. Let the heels hover just an inch or two above the mat. Maybe lift the head, lift the shoulders, peek at the toes. Lower the head, listen carefully, lift a third of the way. Lift another third of the way. Keep listening. Lower a third. Lift a third. Lower a third. Lift a third. Lower third. You got this. Hover at the heels a couple of inches off the mat. Peek, peek, peek. Lower the head. Lift a third. Lift a third. Lift all the way up. Hug the knees towards the chest. Rock a little bit side to side. Good. Keep the knees hugged in towards the chest. Bring your hands behind your thighs. Start to rock yourself lengthwise down the spine. Maybe rock yourself all the way up to a seat. Once you get there, set up a comfortable seated posture. Maybe that's even sitting with your back against the wall. Maybe there's a block under your hips. Take a few moments here just to settle the breathing back down. Settle the mind. Maybe close the eyes. Take 3 more really slow, intentional breaths in and out through the nose. One more full breath. At the end of that exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take one more breath together. Inhale slowly. Exhale completely. Bring your hands to your forehead center. Peace onto you. Peace onto me. Peace onto the earth. Thank you so much for joining. I hope to see you again on your mat soon.